Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive with us.
It's great to be here.
Today we're tackling interview prep for a relationship banking manager role.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We've got a career guide to give us the full picture, an interview guide packed with questions, and we'll even touch on how RoleCatcher's AI can give you an edge. It's like having an interview coach right in your pocket.
That's a great way to put it.
So are you ready to nail that interview?
Absolutely. I think the place to start is really understanding what a relationship banking manager does.
Yeah.
A lot of people just think sales, but it's way more than that.
Oh, for sure.
It's like managing the whole client relationship from the first meeting to building that long-term trust and, even dealing with those tough situations that always seem to come up.
Speaking of tough situations, the career guide did mention that dealing with difficult customers is kind of part of the job.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you need some serious people skills.
Definitely.
But there's a lot to love about this role, too. Like the career guide mentioned, there's a positive job outlook, the earning potential is great,
For sure.
and there's a clear path for moving up.
Yeah, if you're looking for a challenging career in banking, but one that is also rewarding.
This could be it.
Mm-hmm.
So challenges and rewards, that's life, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
But let's get you ready for that interview.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's start with a classic question. Tell me about your experience in relationship banking.
Okay.
I always get tongue-tied with those open-ended questions.
Yeah, this can be tricky.
How do you approach it without looking like a deer in headlights?
It really is all about the approach.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you haven't had that exact job title, you can still impress them by focusing on your transferable skills.
That's a good point.
Think about your past roles. Have you worked with customers, managed accounts, worked in a target-driven environment?
Oh, yeah.
The Functions and Core Abilities section in the career guide actually lays out some key skills that are really valuable in this role, so use that as a framework for your answer.
So it's not just about what I've done. It's how I spin it.
Exactly.
Clever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next question. How do you prioritize your workload? I think we all struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah, especially in a fast-paced role like this one.
Right. So what are some strategies that would really impress the interviewers?
Well, sharing specific time management techniques is key. Don't just say, I'm organized.
Right.
Talk about a method you use, like the Eisenhower matrix, to separate urgent and important tasks.
Okay.
Or you could talk about how you break down big projects into smaller steps.
I like that. It makes me sound much more competent.
It shows you have a system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. How do you build and maintain relationships with clients? Is it just about being charming?
Well, charm definitely helps,
Right.
but it's about going deeper than that.
Okay.
Think about it this way. Clients come to a relationship banking manager for expert advice, and solutions that really fit their needs.
That makes sense.
So you want to highlight your ability to listen, to really understand their needs, and offer solutions that actually benefit them.
So it's about building real connections,
Mm-hmm.
not just closing a sale.
Okay, this next question is one I always dread. How do you handle difficult or challenging clients? Ugh, I hate confrontation.
It's definitely a tough one,
Yeah.
but it's something you have to be ready for.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the career guide specifically said dealing with difficult customers is a regular part of the job. So show them you can handle it.
Okay.
Have a clear approach.
Okay, like what?
You could start with active listening, try to see things from their perspective,
Mm.
then show empathy. Even if you don't agree, acknowledge how they're feeling.
That's a good point.
And then we'll focus on finding a solution that addresses their concerns, but, stays within the bank's rules.
Okay, I like that. That makes it seem much more manageable.
Yeah, it's a framework.
Okay, so we've talked about handling those tough clients.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's switch gears a bit and talk about a question that's all about your achievements. Like, can you tell me about a time you exceeded your sales targets? It's our time to shine, right?
This is your chance to show them what you can do.
Yes. What kind of story should we tell here? Choose a time when you didn't just meet your target, but you really crushed it.
Okay.
But don't just focus on the results. Explain how you did it.
Okay.
Did you use a new sales strategy? Leverage your network? Find some creative way to engage clients?
Right.
Explain your thought process, what you did, and why.
So it's not bragging. It's about showing them I can think strategically.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Okay, let's move on to another one that can be a bit tricky. Can you tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult team member?
Ooh, yeah, we've all had those colleagues.
Right. How do we answer without throwing anyone under the bus?
Keep it positive. Choose an example where you successfully navigated a tricky situation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there was a personality clash, or you disagreed on how to approach a project.
Okay.
But highlight your ability to communicate, listen, and find common ground.
So it's about showing them I can work with anyone.
Right, that you can build bridges, not burn them.
That's great advice. Okay, one more before we move on. Can you tell me about a time you implemented a new process or procedure? What are they trying to find out with that one?
They want to see that you're proactive.
Okay.
Someone who can come up with new ideas and make them happen.
Gotcha.
So think about a time you identified a problem, came up with a solution, and actually made it work. Focus on the positive impact. Did it streamline anything, make things more efficient, improve customer satisfaction?
Oh, so it's about showing I can solve problems and think outside the box.
Exactly.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get a good handle on how to approach these common questions.
That's great.
But there are a few more in the guide I'd love to get your insights on.
Okay, which ones?
I'm particularly curious about questions about industry knowledge and leadership skills.
Oh, yeah, those are important.
Can we dive into those next?
Absolutely. Those are crucial for a relationship banking manager. I'm happy to share my thoughts on those too.
Fantastic. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back and tackle those next.
Sounds good.
All right, we're back and ready for more interview questions.
Let's do it.
I'm really curious about how to show off industry knowledge in an interview.
Okay, yeah, that's important.
What about this one? How do you stay up to date with industry trends and changes?
That's a good one.
Banking is constantly evolving, so how do I show them I'm on top of things?
That's a question they use to see if you're committed to learning, constantly improving.
Yeah.
Remember that professional development section in the career guide?
Mm-hmm.
It really stresses how important it is to stay informed.
Right.
So when you answer this question, be specific. Mention publications you read, like the American Banker or the Financial Times, or websites and blogs you follow. Maybe some that focus on fintech, since technology is such a big part of banking these days.
That's a good point. I can't just say, I read stuff.
Right. You have to show them you're plugged in.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about leadership.
Okay.
Question 8 is, how do you motivate and engage your team members? They want someone who can inspire people, right? Not just manage tasks. How do I talk about my leadership style without sounding, cheesy?
Well, you have to be authentic, but also show off your leadership skills.
Okay.
Think about how you approach teamwork. Are you collaborative? Empowering? Do you make sure everyone's on the same page? Or maybe you lead by example and focus on constant improvement.
I like that.
Whatever your style is, give a real example.
Okay.
Did you start a new initiative that really boosted morale? Did you mentor someone who then achieved amazing results? Let your actions do the talking.
It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly.
Okay, here's a question that I know will come up, but it always makes me nervous. Can you tell me about a time you had to make a difficult decision as a relationship banking manager? What are they really getting at with this question?
They want to see your judgment, your problem-solving skills, your ability to handle pressure, how you think things through, weigh your options, and make those tough calls.
Oh, that makes sense.
So pick a situation that shows those qualities.
Okay.
Like, did you have to deal with a complicated client issue where you had to think about the risks and benefits? Or maybe you had to make a tough decision about a team member's performance?
Yeah.
Walk them through your thought process, what you considered, and what happened in the end.
So it's not just about the decision itself, it's about how I got there.
Exactly.
Okay, before we talk about RoleCatcher, there's one more question I'd love to get your take on.
Okay, shoot.
How would you describe your sales style?
Interesting.
This one always throws me off a bit. I don't want to sound too pushy
I get that.
or aggressive,
Well, remember, as a relationship banking manager, sales is part of the job. It's about connecting clients with the right solutions for their needs.
Sure.
So when you answer, think about what makes your approach effective. Are you consultative? Do you focus on building trust? Are you great at figuring out what clients need and tailoring solutions?
Yeah, I think so.
Or maybe you're really persuasive and passionate about the products and services. Highlight how your style fits with the idea of relationship banking.
Okay.
Building trust, providing value, those long-term partnerships.
I like that. It makes me feel much better about talking about sales.
Oh, good.
Okay, I think we've covered a good range of interview questions.
We've hit a lot of the big ones.
Given everyone some great strategies to approach them.
For sure.
But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to RoleCatcher's AI.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that.
You mentioned it's like having a personal interview coach. Can you tell us more about that?
RoleCatcher uses AI to analyze job descriptions and then helps you tailor your resume and interview answers to really emphasize the specific skills and keywords that employers are looking for.
That sounds amazing. How does
Yeah.
it actually work, though? It seems like magic.
It's pretty advanced technology, but the idea is actually pretty simple. Let's say you want to apply for a relationship banking manager position at a certain bank.
Okay.
You upload the job description to RoleCatcher, and the AI engine goes to work.
Oh, wow.
It analyzes the language, figures out what skills and experience they're looking for, and even analyzes the tone and style of the description.
So it's like it's reading between the lines, figuring out what they really want.
Exactly. And once it's done analyzing, it gives you personalized recommendations
Oh, wow.
on how to make your resume and cover letter perfect for that specific job.
Okay.
It might suggest highlighting certain skills, using specific keywords, or even changing the structure of your resume to match their format.
That's incredible. It takes all the guesswork out of it.
Right.
What about interview prep, though? Can RoleCatcher help with that, too?
Absolutely. Remember all those common interview questions we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, RoleCatcher has a huge database of them organized by industry and job role. So you pick the questions that are relevant for the job you want and practice answering them using RoleCatcher's virtual interview simulator.
Wait, a virtual interview simulator? That sounds intense.
It's actually very user-friendly. You just choose a question, record yourself answering it, and then RoleCatcher's AI analyzes your response,
Oh.
gives you feedback on how you sound, what you said, and even your body language.
It's like a mock interview with an expert, but virtual.
Mm-hmm.
That's so valuable. I could
Yeah.
see how using RoleCatcher could really boost my confidence and help me get ready for those tough questions.
It's all about giving you the tools and insights you need to really shine in that interview.
This has been so helpful. I feel like I'm starting to really understand this whole interview process.
Good, good.
But before we wrap up, I'm curious about something.
Okay.
We've talked about all the skills you need to be a good relationship banking manager.
Right.
But what about the person behind those skills?
Right.
How do I know if this career is really right for me?
That's a great question, and it's one you should definitely think about. The career guide gives you a good overview, but you need to go deeper than that.
Okay.
Think about your values, your work style, your long-term goals.
Yeah.
Do you like fast-paced environments where you're always interacting with clients? Are you passionate about helping people with their finances? Are you comfortable with sales and hitting targets?
Those are really important questions.
It's not just about checking boxes. It's about finding a career that fits who you are and what you want.
Exactly. I need to do some soul searching before I even send out that resume.
That's a good idea.
But I feel so much more prepared to tackle this whole interview process after this deep dive.
I'm glad to hear that.
We've covered the key responsibilities, broken down those tough interview questions, and even learned how AI can help us.
It's a lot of information.
I feel empowered and ready for the challenge.
That's great. Just remember, preparation is key. And with the right tools and the right attitude, you can definitely ace that interview and land your dream job.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of relationship banking managers. We hope you've learned a lot and feel more confident in your own career journey. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.
That's a really good point. It's not just about getting the job. It's about finding the right job for me.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be happy in your career.
And speaking of finding the right fit, I think RoleCatcher's AI can help with that too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things it can do is analyze your skills and experience and then suggest career paths that you might be a good fit for.
That's so cool.
It's not just looking for matching keywords.
Right.
It actually looks at your strengths, your interests, even your personality to recommend roles where you'd probably really thrive.
Wow. It's like having a career counselor, but AI powered.
Pretty much.
So even if I decide relationship banking manager isn't for me, RoleCatcher can help me explore other options.
It can definitely open your eyes to possibilities you might not have even thought of.
That's amazing. Helping you find a career path that really speaks to you, aligns with your passions.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
It has been a lot of fun.
We've really explored what it means to be a relationship banking manager, learned how to tackle those tough interview questions,
Hopefully ease some anxiety around those.
and even discovered how AI can be such a game changer in our job search.
It's an exciting time.
I feel so much more confident and clear about my next steps.
That's great to hear. Just remember, be prepared, be yourself, and believe in yourself.
And with the right tools and resources, like RoleCatcher, we can all achieve our career goals.
You got it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of relationship banking managers. We hope you learned something valuable today and that you feel empowered to take that next step in your career. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.